In addition to the treasures in his pack, Asa clutched one more in his right hand, a bunch of fresh, hand-planted, hand-watered, hand-weeded, hand-picked radishes. He looked at them quickly. They were not believable. Nothing could become that color underground. Such a red had to be made by craft. Surely it would take scientists, geniuses, to design the proper chemical sequence. Asa had chosen to plant radishes in the class garden when the first graders had pored over seed packets in February, simply because he did not believe they would come true. Today, just this morning, everyone had been allowed to undo all the work that had gone into keeping the vegetables hidden in the ground. They ripped their things out, shook the brown clods off them, and almost cried with revelation. Really, everyone, not just Asa, almost cried. The long orange carrots had been a hit, but the radishes stole the show. No one else had wanted to plant them because they had all been thinking about eating what they grew. Asa had been thinking about growing what he grew as an end in itself. But tonight he and his dad and his mom would all eat this wonderful redness. He was triumphant. As he approached the crosswalk, he worked one of his 31 radishes free from the tangle of greens and knobs so that he could give it to Nadine, the policewoman, whom he had seen twice a day through kindergarten and first grade, who had given him his first nickname. "Well, hey, Ace, how are you this morning?" Who allowed him his first joke of pretend mockery. "Fine, Captain. You caught any criminals yet?" He stepped into the crosswalk. Before Nadine could greet him, he held out a radish to her. She drew her chin back to focus on it, and shook her head. "No, I don't love a radish. Thank you all the same, Ace." She looked beyond him, wheeling her arm at a slowpoke. Asa was perplexed by the idea of not loving a radish, but he went on as he walked, turning backward so he could face her. "I got straight A's, Captain, for the year." "You have a nice summer," she said, and went to help a kindergartner, who was about to cry, pick up a splaying fan of papers he had dropped. Asa hesitated, then turned back around toward home and kept walking. Well, maybe Bobby Levy would be more interested in what Asa had to share. In 2 minutes he would pass beneath the balcony on which Bobby always perched, only 2 feet off the uphill slanting sidewalk, but high enough to look down from. Bobby's private school dismissed a half-hour earlier than the public school, and Bobby spent that extra time watching TV. He made a point of waiting for Asa every afternoon, with the blue-silver rectangle of a television set shining deep in the dark room behind him, implying pointedly the 30 minutes of fun Asa had missed by being so unwisely unprivate. During the 30 seconds in which Asa, walking resignedly uphill, was within the range of Bobby's voice, Bobby, glib as a squirrel, always managed to chatter out a snappy summary of the rerun of I Love Lucy, or The Real McCoys, just for him. The summaries were remarkably clear, and Asa silently admired them, even as he reminded himself that he disliked television comedies. In fact, Asa never spoke to Bobby at all. It was not part of the relationship. Bobby had something to say, and Asa was the listener. He received and passed by. Once, in the fall, he had tried to turn the TV report into a conversation, but Bobby had glared at him, cranky and affronted, in the middle of Asa's